Hi, hello everyone. Much love to you all. Thank you for joining us again to keep up with our renovation journey. And if you're new here, welcome. In today's video, we will be focusing on the upgrades we completed on the exterior. This undertaking includes the tiling of the veranda, the bars we put around the veranda, the roofing, and much more. As we've mentioned before, building and renovating in Africa is almost never ending. It feels as if you're always going to have something to alter or improve. This is where your resilience comes in. We needed to redo the veranda, the one you see here, because it was just a bit too narrow and the ceiling was a bit too low and we weren't getting enough sun. This is a rough visual on what we were planning to achieve with the new adaptation. Although we did not want to pay for these new upgrades, we finally caved. Like we had explained before, when we had began this project, we had no plan, and these unforeseen costs were just a consequence of that, as well as the evolution of our ideas. Here you can see the prepping of the terrain, the prepping of the ground for the tiles that we were going to have put in place. If you're not new here, you'll remember these tiles from the last video. These are the tiles we got from Marwa, the store that imports tiles from South Africa. Those are the tiles that we chose to go with for our veranda. We like the way that it looks like cement, but it's still a tile. It's very classy, very nice to keep clean. And this is still the prep work for the tiling that would go into place. And here you see the tiles that we put in the veranda completed. Obviously it's not clean yet, but it's already starting to look better. And then in the next shot here, you see the paving that we're doing around the perimeter of the veranda and around the perimeter of the house as well. Soon after, we moved on to making the new bars that were to be installed around the veranda. The idea is to make this veranda's second seating place furnished with beautiful furniture just to watch the sunset or entertain guests. The metal bars were installed and were painted with red anti-rust. This is not the final color, of course. And then we moved on to another portion. We moved on to building the septic tank.
Je suis au chantier, je suis à Lubumbashi, sur mon chantier de joli site, vous pouvez voir. Là, je suis à l'extérieur, il n'y a pas encore de clôture, mais bon, Dieu voulant, ici, là, on pourra faire une clôture. Là, on est en train de corriger, essayer de couper les antivols qu'ils avaient mis devant. Ils vont essayer de déplacer la porte pour qu'elle vienne de ce côté, ici, à gauche. Au lieu qu'elle soit en face de la porte d'entrée de la maison. Donc c'est un peu ça. Là c'est Joe avec qui je travaille. Il m'a aidé à construire cette maison. Voilà. Je me mets un peu à l'écart, comme il travaille à plein de bruit. Et comme c'est la soudure, vous comprenez. Merci.
Now that we're on to the step of the septic tank, I think I should mention that most African countries, save for places like South Africa, it is common practice for individuals to build their own septic tank. And that's because our governing bodies just don't have a policy of ensuring that we have our own waste disposal systems. So as individuals, we have to do it on our own. And that's the step that we are now embarking on. And just when we finally thought that we had a break from fixing mistakes and continuing with the actual renovations, we realized we had to fix the back windows. They were facing right into the neighbor's backyard, and that was because when the house was built, it was built on the perimeter. So we entered negotiations with our neighbors, which took up to a year just to get 1 meter of land for him to sell to us so we could fix the windows. Eventually we did, and these are the windows you see here now. And then surprise, surprise, we had another situation arise. If you're new here, you should watch our previous videos to be in the loop. But the mold situation we had on the inside was occurring on the outside. We did the exact same thing by removing almost 1 meter from the ground up of plaster so we could apply the mold control solution. And then you would think that we wouldn't have another challenge. But then we faced our biggest challenge yet, and that was having to change the roofing. This was really taxing for our pockets. It almost broke our bank, but by God's grace, we managed to remove and replace it, and it made the biggest difference. So basically, at a time where the house is basically completed, we had to go and remove the previous corrugated roofing. And with that, we also had to remove the wood that lay beneath the corrugated iron. So those were replaced as well. Do you think the touch-ups ended there? Nope. We got the bright idea of raising the walls just a little bit. So we ended up raising the walls by 5 bricks stacked one on top of the other, just so that the house didn't look that awkward, just so it had a better feel. And I think you agree with us that the house will look much better with the walls raised. It's really been quite the experience with a plethora of challenges, but in the process, we've learned so much, and we'll implement this acquired knowledge on other projects if God permits. This is currently what the exterior of the house looks like by God's grace. Ignore the walls you will see around the perimeter of the yard. That's a story for another video. So all the more reason for you all to subscribe so you never miss one of our videos. I hope you can learn from our mistakes of going in blind and how costly that can be. That being said, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. See you next time.